Alka mentioned or identified for us earlier. We're seeing some of those trumpet-shaped sponges now that we're back in this rocky habitat. You can see as soon as we get back into the rocks, it really changes what we're seeing associated with the seafloor. Okay. So now we're getting into
Zoom in quick there,
that. Looks like we're transitioning on the current map that's up on HYPACK, that the background, which is slope. We've moved from blue into green. So it looks like, yeah, we want to stay in the green to yellow, if possible.
Cool. Okay, zoom out.
Those look like a few anemones there.
What's right up to the top of the screen there?
Yeah.
That the
Is that a
feather star is on?
sponge?
I guess.
What are we looking at?
Just
the
to
feather
the
stars on
right
is
of
kind
the lasers.
Oh. Yeah.
I think that big thing on the rock.
Mm-hmm. Hanging
Which big
from
thing
the
on
rock.
the rock?
Yeah.
Right underneath.
Below the rock, protruding from
on the undercling. Over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an old sponge.
Yeah.
Oh, very old sponge.
Yeah.
Sponge looks like I feel.
Steve, I need to borrow your telestrator. Oh, a little shrimp under there, a little red shrimp.
Okay, who said, oh, the sponge looks how I feel?
That was Al.
Wait, right now? Did I miss that?
It's been a day.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Zoom out.
Well, Al, we can start saying that everything looks like food if you want. I know you like that. So that's kind of, what does that look like? An old ice cream cone? No.
An
Yeah,
old
we're
bagel.
And oh,
Argus is,
No,
yeah, we
can
gotta
keep
get
going.
going here.
Yep. Yes. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I'm wide. Next time I want munchies or a little snack, I'll think about that bagel. I won't eat.
Cinnamon
Keep in mind,
raisin
Bob,
bagel.
too, our ship
Oh, I
moves
love
at
those.
135, so. Oh, I
One-
didn't catch that.
157, we've on the same heading that we've been on
Since when?
So
since we started down here.
Yeah, I'm full, mostly full. All right. Junk
Missed
food.
all that. I got the echo, though.
Got the echo.
You have the echo? Oh.
Mm.
No, there was no crack, and I saw it there.
Al, could we get HYPACK back?
I'm sorry.
Thank
Yes,
you.
can.
Thanks.
It's very confusing because I have 3 different screens with Herc and HYPACK, and usually I have at least 2 screens on Herc cam, and they're at different time sinks. I'm looking at one, I'm hearing something, which is the delay, and then I'm seeing something on one screen, okay, and then I'm seeing it on another screen. It's very surreal.
Yeah. I find sometimes if I kind of refresh the one that's the most lagging, I can catch it up a little bit. But my quad view seems to
try that.
lag behind my Herc view pretty consistently.
There's a predatory tunicate there. Looks like.
Oh, yeah, in the bottom center
Zoom in now.
of the screen.
Oh, nice.
We saw some of these last night, and here you can see that they look really nice. And so last night when we were talking about this, it said there was a isopod that can live inside of the predatory tunicate. So we may be seeing that. We're not seeing it. It's kind of this. It reminds me of
It has a couple of
trap.
little yummies in there.
Mm. But the ones I saw last
do
night, some of them
predatory
had white spots.
do predatory tunicates do they float away or are they always anchored?
No, they're pretty
I've always
well
seen them
anchored.
Yeah.
Got a couple of yummies in there.
All right, good capture.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Lasers off.
So down along the
Got it.
bottom
And we're still
is an
moving.
opening.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm still ahead of you because my heading is still 90 degrees right now. So once you come underneath, I'll switch around to our 157. Yeah, it's starting to get close to the bottom again. Coming up.
Oh, pretty sponge that just went by, very lacy on the right-hand side.
That's how much
That
I'm
yellow
zoomed in.
stalked. The yellow stalked organism is a stalked crinoid that's feeding on food in the water column that floats by.
Oh. Thank you, Bob.
What do you think of me for?
Was that you or me? Oh, no, that was you. You got the chunk out of the way. I don't have to zoom.
Oh. Well, we're on a steeper wall right here. That helps.
Okay. So Sam, it looks to me that we've gone from kind of green into more of a yellowish, orangish color, and we're getting a steeper
like
slope.
More sponges up on top.
Yeah, it looks like it. Rennie also just came up to let me know that there is apparently a pretty big high pack error happening right now, and they're trying to bring back lines, but they're just not being resolved correctly. So it does look like that's what we're looking at right now, and hopefully we'll have some extra contours here to help us out. But I think we can say ground truthing wise, it looks like we are back to a little bit of a slope. So if, to follow this kind of southern route that Steve mapped out, we'll be taking a eastern heading in just a few meters, if that sounds good.
So I don't know what's going on with my audio, but while you were talking, there was like lasers shooting in my ears as far as how it sounded. So I think you said that to follow Steve's route, you're going to start to change heading soon?
Yeah, we'll do another ship move, and then we'll start to move east.
Okay. That sounds good, and then I'm going to go out of my audio and come back because that was not pleasant. And I doubt you were actually shooting lasers while you were speaking.
There's a zoom out, you said?
Well, we can go with that too. But you got it? Lasers off.
Got it. Good
Zoom
captures.
Zoom in.
Okay, back in. And that was the focus.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, so this is a bamboo coral again. Some kind of keratoisid, very sparsely branching. It's got these weird branches at the base, kind of coming off perpendicular. Yeah, we can go up. It looks like most of the branches are coming off one side of the colony.
Zoom out a touch there. Then we're gonna have to get going again. Zoom out a touch, Al.
Beautiful.
Okay, we gotta get going. Zoom out.
Coming out.
Is the ship still moving, or are we just still swinging from the last move?
We're still moving.
Okay. Coming out.
We
What
squared off.
background is that, Sam? What's that one?
Zoom in.
Looks like a nice boot sponge.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Lasers on.
Got it.
Okay, zoom out.
So Sam,
Go ahead.
can you hear me? Yeah, you're toggling between two backgrounds. It looks like one is the depth and one is slope. Is that right?
Yeah, one is the bathy.
Zoom in
Rennie
again
was just
now.
up here recommending that we follow the bathy because that is confirmed to be accurate.
Okay.
And then if we still want to switch back and forth, we can. But he recommended using the bathy as it's more accurate.
Two worms there.
Okay, so our current
Okay, zoom out.
sinuous path
We gotta get going.
seems to intersect some of these yellow, so shallower features on the bathy. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it still kind of lines up with our original idea to move east
Mm-hmm.
pretty soon, pretty much where the Hercules target is right now. We'll start moving east towards A6. I'll switch over to the slope again to confirm, but it keeps us in line with those green areas you're interested in, and then gets us to that red patch as well.
Right, but so the red is saying steep, but the bathy is saying that the shallowest part we would miss. We would miss the shallowest part.
Yeah, so we might want to follow the bathy instead of the slope map in that case.
And then come up short of A6 and turn south to A7.
I think that sounds good, yeah, to follow the
Along
yellow
the
here.
brightest yellow. Okay.
Bob, are we squared
So
off on the porch?
Yeah.
Great, so I'll do a kind of southeast heading here to get us to the yellow, then the next patch of yellow, instead of due east.
Okay.
Coming up still.
And so at this point, we would be generally going up slope as well.
We'll be going, looks like at this point we'll be kind of crabbing along down. Yeah, as we move from the yellow to the green, we'll be going down slope and then up slope again when we hit the yellow again.
Zoom in now.
Okay. That's pretty.
Those are so pretty. There's so often there's like a house or little critters inside. I don't think anybody's home today.
So this is a sponge, and I'm trying to remember the type of sponge that it is. And which taxonomic guide I saw it in.
See anybody in there? Could be around the corner.
I don't see anyone home.
I don't see anybody home.
Okay.
All right, ready.
Zoom out.
That's a cool
Thanks.
shot.
Nice shots.
Do I want a laser shot? Too late now.
We got a laser shot. Okay. Got it. Moving on. Gotta go.
And pilots are, new bearing is 112.
112. Keeping me on my toes.
So Erica in the Burton, who works at Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary with me, and just she's in our science chat, and she said we're calling that Periferous Species 5. So this is not the first time we've seen it. We just don't yet have hasn't been identified and assigned a species name. So we know it's it's a sponge, and I believe that samples of that are already in hand with some sponge experts, and they'll be working on that over time.
Did we collect it earlier in the cruise? Because I don't see it on our specimen sample list.
Yeah, I think in the past, not on this cruise, but in past, because we've seen it before here.
Okay.
Here meaning Davidson Seamount, because we've never been here in this area of in the foothills of Davidson Seamount, but in other parts of Davidson Seamount, we've seen it. Wow, very big.
Yeah. Some more yummies in its tummy. Steve, do you know, is that the little globe, kind of circular, white, kind of sparkly mass, kind of in the middle, right? Is that part of the digestive system of the tunicate, or is that something that it's feeding on?
I couldn't tell you specifically what part of the anatomy, but it's definitely part of the viscera of the body. So I couldn't tell you what specifically it is, though.
And the two things above it, like right next to the lasers and above, those are probably things that it's feeding on?
Those look like some of the commensal polychaetes that are known to live with these animals.
Oh.
Yeah, they have scale worms occasionally will live in and even on this organism, presumably grazing on whatever kind of sloppy feeding it does during its predation.
Wow. So those are kind of on the outside feeding.
Outside and inside. You see them once in a while on the inside too.
Huh. Okay. Okay. I originally thought that they were like part of the prey of that tunicate.
Are we going down the slope again?
We're going down slope. Yep, we're going to go down slope, hit a shallower area, and then get a little bit of a slope again. We're basically on a series of little ridges or knolls that we're going up, going down, going up, going down.
I'm at 10 meters off the surface here, so. Oh, and now we're at tether limits. What's the ship move?
The ship move was.
Yeah, I think we're way off on our.
112.
Yeah.
You want to reset it again?
Yeah.
Well, we're also pointed at 90 right now, but our move is 112, which I guess not a huge difference. Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind.
That makes a little more sense. What do you think about that?
Yep.
Okay.
No, that doesn't make sense.
No?
I'm out in front.
Yeah. Oh, we've got tags up here too. How about... Yeah, I don't think we can rely on this one again.
Yep. Yeah, pretty close. Our guess is pretty close. Yeah, you can come up. Are we still moving?
A little bit. I'm going to put another ship move. Bridge nav.
Okay, this isn't a great bearing, by the way.
30 meters, bearing 090. Let's give that a whirl. Let's give 090 a whirl. See if that suits you any better.
Well, I just don't want Argus to land on top of the hill, that's all.
Agreed. So instead of crabbing along the downslope, we'll just move directly east, straight down. Does that make sense?
Yep. So all this downhill is just dragging all this mud with me. we go. We're also bouncing the Doppler off the bottom. Not very good for it.
Is there an option to is there an option to back down?
Oh.
Well, somewhat. I mean, when I'm backing, I don't know where I'm going. You know?
That's also true. Yeah, and since we don't have
It's
USVL,
generally frowned upon. You know, like just back down the hill, not knowing what you're doing. You
so
do
what's your preferred way of going down slopes then? When one must go down slopes.
Down.
Okay.
Not going down slopes.
So a series of nulls that were laid out in this dive plan is not your ideal.
No.
Roger. Gotten to the root of the issue.
Yeah. Generally frowned upon. Coming down.
Yeah, I'm coming down. Sorry about that.
Yeah, every time we stop, we're going to get all this with it, you know?
Yep, trying not to stop.
Sam, could we peek at the slope again? Just, I
Sure
know
thing.
we're
We zoom in
decided
now?
we're going to look at this mostly, but
That's a pretty sponge. Wow.
sure is.
I don't see that on our sample list either. I'll take a look again.
Sam, could you put your cursor over where the bright yellow is on the bathing?
Sure. I'm gonna have to toggle it and then move my cursor again.
Or toggle it, yeah. Then I can see it too.
Oh, the bright yellow near A6?
Yeah, I'm just so
Yeah, that's down here.
I'm trying to think how we could get down slope. That's a really neat video. Down slope in the most efficient way possible so we can start going up again.
That's a cool video.
So I think what Bob was mentioning for going down slope is actually just coming off bottom and moving kind of quickly out in the water column and then dropping back down when we want to go up slope again. So I think the question is if we want the survey of going down slope. So if that's something desired, then we're going to have to just keep kind of crabbing along. But if it's something that we can skip and just get into the water column a little higher, is that correct, Bob?
Yeah.
And how much do you anticipate we're going to go down between now and the bottom?
Down in altitude or?
Like from here, no, from here, from where we are to kind of where the low point is. How much of a change in depth is that?
Without contour lines, it's a little hard to tell, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true.
We're a little hamstrung at the moment. I can tell you that from here to the next yellow section is about 200 meters, but that's all the numbers I got for you, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let's just, we can go ahead and get a couple quick videos or pictures of these beautiful sponges, and then we can just kind of head over in the water column there and drop down.
Roger. Does that work for you, Bob?
Yep.
Ridge nav.
That's kind of a long slope, so that's... I can stay in touch with the bottom at that. So,
That one's okay.
judging by this, yeah, this is like
Like
1,
this?
2 right here.
This is okay? 'Cause we can still see pretty well, so this is great.
Do we have lasers on?
Do now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jan.
Very easy to forget those.
There's a stock sponge on the corner left there.
Are you approaching the bottom or what's happening? You still got,
Yeah, on the big heaves, I was getting down to 10, so I didn't want to come down too much more.
have to go up the slope to get in line with you then.
I wonder where all the fish went.
Yeah, we haven't seen any for a
Disappeared the
while.
last bit.
Yeah, earlier on they were seeing lots of grenadier and cuskills, I think. As I was peeking at the video on my this watch.
Bridge, Nav.
So for anyone who's wondering where we are in the Davidson Seamount portion of Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. And if you've been following cruises with Nautilus this year, you may recall that we were doing the Central California National Marine Sanctuary cruise. Last week, we were at Pioneer Canyon for a couple of dives, and then we went out to Davidson Seamount. And then we had some issues with weather and made it difficult for us
Is that
to
a
dive
tunicate down there? I can't tell.
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
area.
Okay, that's fine. You don't need to look at it.
Okay.
So through coordination with the cruise that is currently scheduled for this time with
So
the
what's interesting
Sanctuaries
here,
West Coast Regional Office and Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuaries, we were able to get one more dive up
get
here,
into it.
one of the dives we'd planned to do in the Davidson
We zoom
Seamount
in
area.
out.
So that looks like the Pharea sponge we've been seeing periodically. It looks very, Jan, what did you call it before? I was calling it frilly, but you had a better term for it. It has these undulations that I think are quite beautiful. Some people refer to it as the cloud sponge.
I can't
And
get
on its
down
surface,
there where it is.
that's okay. It's a nice view from here.
Yeah, looks
And
a
you
little
can see that
silted
there are
over.
in portions, yeah.
Yeah,
The
hopefully
parts
it'll
that are
recover.
Portions that are protruding the
But
most into the water column also have feather stars on top that are using it as a way to get higher up into the water column to catch their food as it drifts by.
Okay, zoom out. Are you zoomed out?
We're at 3,095 meters, so very deep in the foothills of Davidson Sea
Don't
Mount.
zoom. Lots of those tunicates are. Yeah, Argus is kicking up a cloud.
So we're trying to move between a taller feature that we already looked at earlier in this dive, and now we're coming down and trying to get over to a somewhat shorter feature, but we're just checking out these areas on the seafloor that have some higher elevation, see what type of benthic habitat is there. Is it mixed rock and sediment like you see here? Is it mostly rock? Is there anywhere where the rock is fractured and we see some of that venting warm water that we've seen when we've explored somewhat similar type features on the southeastern side of Davidson Sea Mount? And that's what we're looking for right now. We've been seeing corals, sponges,
Pretty
many
much
different kinds of echinoderms.
at that heading anyway.
We've seen a few octopus, but not the moose octopus that we saw in association with the venting water in what we're calling the octopus garden and on the octocone. But the species we've been seeing here So here we're seeing another one of those frilly sponges, and behind a taller coral. Gian or Steve, my audio is cutting in and out. Would anyone like to explain that coral before I disappear again? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, hi, Al.
Hi. It seems down there.
I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was seeing my audio was cutting in and out a bit.
It still is. Looks like we dropped both of you too, around 45
yeah.
seconds ago. And,
Okay, well, I'm back.
Mine keeps dropping and it keeps coming back on automatically.
Okay.
And every now and then I will just go back out and re-log in, and seems to be clearer transmission. Oh, that's it. Very interesting. What is that white? Is that a sponge or is that a
Can we
coral?
zoom in?
Yeah, I think that's more Pharea sponge.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. I'm
Is it?
sorry. I'm
Maybe I'm
watching
wrong.
the video without my glasses on. I'm going to go find my glasses.
Well, I'm not.
I'll be right back.
Steve, do you think that's Pharea? It's a little
I
different than the one we saw right before.
Yeah, it does. It does look like a Phareid, at least in that family. I don't know
Okay.
if it's Pharea that specifically, but I would say so.
Okay. And
But it definitely
I
looks
was
more
trying to,
sheet-like than the bushy kind we were seeing earlier.
right.
But that's just
yeah.
my coral eyes looking at a sponge, so I could be mistaken.
Well, it almost looks more lacy than the other looks
Sorry,
more
it's
frilly.
gonna be messy here.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotta move on.
Well, there's lacy and there's frilly. So that looks more lacy than frilly.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We had sampled a farad that came up this morning in the bin, and it was very bushy. It actually looked, it had these large, frilly, bushy lobes that almost look like pine cones exactly, and it had this very weird texture. It was heavy, but it wasn't rigid. It was really bizarre kind of sensation to hold that whole sponge. I don't know if you saw the one that they tried to get with the squishy fingers yesterday.
What is that coral to the left? It looks like it's going straight up and then dipping down in a U. But is that one of the curlicue ones and we just have a strange view?
There's something weird going on there.
And Steve, I missed
So
it.
I
Did you
lost
say
my
that the
D-Link.
sponge was kind of, yeah, it was kind of crunchy? Like Erica was describing as being kind of like a potato chip.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, definitely when they're dry, they're very brittle.
So was it Hawaiian chip type of crunchy, or was it more like a Lay's potato chip kind of crunchy?
Here we go.
There we go, Al, just for you.
I'm doing this for Al.
Thank you.
You don't actually know how painful this is because we ran out of potato chips on the ship.
Oh no!
No.
And
Oh no.
It's too soon.
yeah, it's a little raw.
Sorry, too soon.
I only realized recently there were chips.
Yeah, that's not a usual thing. That was a very unusual addition. But once they got discovered, they were gone fast.
But we got so many kinds of pretzels, and those never get touched, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want other. Like last
Good
Halloween.
dip to Nutella.
The pretzels are for when you're not really feeling very well. So it kind of means that you guys are all feeling really good.
Yeah, I was really debating whether or not to microwave a bag of popcorn tonight.
That'd have been great.
Oh,
What are you? She doing this? What's she still doing
Can we
here?
zoom in now?
Not for the van. That's like
Oh.
greasy and gross
That's true.
on the
It's a nice
keyboards.
little base. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta get moving.
Yeah,
Well,
so
So when I met up with Chad last night to pick up the samples that he brought off the ship, I asked him, one of the first questions I asked him was not about the samples, but about, so what is it like on the ship with all the COVID-19 type of restrictions? And so what about the food? And, so he says the food is just as great as it always is. And I was asking about the varieties, like the varieties always there. So it sounds like it's it's pretty comfortable because there's like half, maybe a quarter of the number of people on the ship. So it's kind of eerie to him, and just everybody has their own room, and I guess the meals, the food isn't like laid out for everyone to serve themselves. You just put out your plate and everybody kind of, the cook serves the whatever you might want to point to, or and you have to like tell them, no, not so much. So I was thinking, well, so about the French fries, because there's always the great French fries on the Nautilus.
Yeah, they still have good fries. They put so much on our plates.
yeah.
A lot of food.
strangely, when they put out double cheesecake, no one complains about how much food there is.
No
It
complaint
just
there.
goes away magically.
Never mind that. So,
So shoreside, high pack update, if you are interested. The high pack issue was not able to be resolved, and so we have contour lines back up again, but we are just going to need to be aware that there's still about a 50 to 100 meter offset on these contour lines. So this yellow patch that we're headed to is actually, is correct. So the bathy is still correct, but the contour lines need to be bumped up, bumped north about 100 meters. So I think what I'm going to have us, right now we're still actually on track to hit this yellow patch. But on these contour lines should actually be kind of encircling the yellow patch, if that makes sense.
Shore said V-Link was down. They might not be able to hear you, so they're going to try and come back in as soon as they can.
Roger, thanks.
I heard you, Sam. That sounds like a good idea. You still Sam? I can't hear her right now. V-Link is down. That's from Jen.
Perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
she's back.
Okay. Okay. For now. I could see Sam drawing, and I figured she was talking to me.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so we're going to keep driving off of the bathy, so off of these yellow patches that we're looking for. But if you want to visualize what the seafloor actually looks like, we can just bump the contours up mentally. It's not ideal, but it gives us a little bit of extra spatial awareness.
Well, it seems like we still have to go through a low point before we can start to climb up again. Is that right?
Yeah, I think we're getting there soon. The ship's already over that position, but Herc is catching up.
Okay.
So do you want to keep on this contour until we hit the yellow highlight, which is probably to the southeast of the ship?
So actually we're headed directly for the yellow region here. It's the contours that are off. So if the contours are also just getting in our way, I can knock those off and just add them in periodically. But right now the ship and the vehicles are on direct path to that yellow patch we had originally identified.
Yeah. So we're just trying to get through the low part as fast as possible so we can start climbing again. Does that make sense, Jan?
Jen, you broke up terribly, but I think you said to confirm what Sam just said. Moving over to the east, sure is, and then moving. And now my V-Link went down, sorry.
So, Sam, I think I need to try to, like, basically restart my computer. So you feeling fine if I'm gone for a little bit? I get this back up and running, and I'm hoping that'll help with my audio.
Sounds good.
We lost both of you at the same time just now, so I'm not so sure it was your computer.
I know, I just don't know what else to do.
That's how we're feeling right now. You know, we're going to reboot V-Link on this end, which is really rebooting V-Link at the heart. So we'll say goodbye for a little while, but we'll see you in a bit.
So
got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
So the ship group has started.
What is that purple?
It's like a cucumber.
Right, we're on our own now. It's fun.
So I believe we heard from science that we can zip through this kind of shallow region so we can get to the slope again.
Well, we're definitely ascending right now.
I know, I was going to say, so much for that idea.
What were we doing? Getting through.
Well, we
this
were going
looks
to get
pretty
through a
steep
shallow area,
right
but
here.
now it suddenly it looks steep.
Yeah, this is a wall.
Well, that's kind of what we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Sure is. Wasn't on this map.
That's part of the fun.
Ben said that the
Al, can we zoom in?
map
Yep.
was a navigation wonderland, but this isn't
All the way.
quite what I had in mind.
You're going to warn me when you guys do that. Changing pilots.
All right, let's come wide. Yeah.
Looks a little worrisome here.
You want me to hold?
How far did you move?
It was a 30-meter step. We have 10 left to go.
Looks
Yeah,
like
you want to kind of zip ahead so we can get up over this thing?
it looks like we have Jan back. Jan, do you hear me?
'Cause it's,
All right.
I'm not
Yes,
seeing
I
over
do.
the top of it.
You want me to hold position?
Well, now we're starting
Still
to look over
don't
the
have
top.
Jennifer though.
I'm coming up pretty fast now.
Right.
There's some other sponges.
We might need Jennifer to sign
Lots of little
back in.
Picasso sponge. Gorgeous sponge.
Yeah, I think keep ascending, right, Bob? Because the
I'm
ship move
coming
is.
up.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
coming up.
No, I'm asking for me. Yeah, because
Oh,
the ship
yeah.
move is already in, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We got to get up over this thing. We're still not seeing a lot over the top yet. And I'm seeing stuff here still.
Excuse me 1 second.
Yeah, this is a wall. I don't like all these surprises.
Yeah, me neither.
Bob's like, this looks flat. Let's hand over the joystick.
Yeah. Oy
This
vey.
is easy terrain for Paul, and then
Yeah.
What does the sonar look like?
Well,
like
we're
a
starting
wall.
to look over it, but yeah,
We lost it in Argus.
yeah,
So that means Argus was looking over it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're at the top now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as our bathy goes, this was supposed to be a nice shallow flat path.
It's flat, just in the vertical direction.
Yeah, I think you need to push into
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so that ship move is complete. Should I let you guys catch up and get over this?
Yeah.
Davidson Seamat, always a surprise. Doesn't give up its secrets easily.
No.
Would someone please tell Jennifer to log back in?
Yep.
Don't have her.
Yeah. All right, we're over the hump. No problem.
Knock on wood. Okay, ready for another move?
I heard you call, Al.
Hey.
Ooh.
Yes, we have you
Ready
on,
for another move, Bob?
Oh, I'm ready.
on our computer.
Paul,
ready?
you ready?
yeah, yeah.
Roger.
Oh my goodness. You just got booted off and you guys just came back instantaneously. Oh, well. At least Jan came back. Nope. We lost both of them. Okay, they're back now.
Hello.
Oh man, you can't imagine. And Ben's sitting next to me with graphs and a laptop looking at this stuff like, Scotty from the Enterprise would be jealous. You and I, any better.
I feel whenever I say something, it's happening, but I'm going to give it a try anyway.
Oh God. It made it worse. Ben, are you monitoring both this shore and SPL? Okay. Good.
These look more like pillows,
Yeah.
pillow basalts.
Sure do.
Oops. Gotta not keep my hand on the stick. Get that.
You driving?
Oh, you get that sound.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, very high pitched. I can hear it.
That's me getting electrocuted, I think.
We appreciate your sacrifice.
All right, Al, let's zoom in.
Al, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Right.
Jennifer.
Continue.
This looks like what we sampled a little earlier.
All right,
Now
let's
I
come
can't
wide.
get my science chat to load, so
Oh, what a
Let's come wide, Al. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm going to do one of those speed tests just to see.
oh, very good idea.
I learned it from you.
Oh, thank you. I learned it from Ben.
Well, Ben's the wizard.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not my speed.
Wow.
Is Jan
Yeah,
back?
this is kind of cool.
Yes, Jen's back.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm back.
So it was real.
Can you get into the science chat?
Yeah, you have a good time history of it.
Yeah.
All right, Al, let's zoom in.
Which one are we at? Okay.
All right, come wide.
Hey, Bob, how do you feel about doing a Niskin?
You can do it, Niskin. What's that thing?
Circular.
Looks trashy.
Yeah.
All right, Al, let's zoom in.
Oh, it looks like a
Rotor.
wheel.
Oh,
Yeah.
A
is
brake
that
rotor.
like,
Oh, let's come.
oh,
Brake,
okay.
yeah.
A
No,
drum, actually.
Brake drum.
See, I garden a lot, and so I thought that was like, you know, the pot.
The terracotta
stuff
pot
they
base.
put under a pot. That's what I saw.
No,
But of course,
that's a
the awfully,
brake drum, yeah.
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 Bob, are we good with the ship continuing to move, or you want to hold?
I can do it on the fly here.
Yeah.
You guys zoom
Roger.
out.
Let's
No?
come wide.
Great. Yeah,
You just
Meredith's
back
seen
off
lots
the
of bamboos.
the camera.
Yeah, just all the way.
Yeah, all the way.
So we're about,
Yeah.
There's more metal bits and stuff down there.
Maybe we'll find the rest of the car.
Yeah.
that wouldn't be completely new to find something large and metal in Monterey Sanctuary. We did find, well, Mbari found a shipping container
Huh.
deep down in Monterey Bay. So what you're seeing right now is ROV's Predator arm is going to pull on one of these lanyards to close a Niskin bottle. And if you're looking at the quad view, you'll see those Niskin bottles in channel 3. And which number are you going to fire? Number 2? That's
Number
from
2.
the end, far end. That's the second from the far end, right?
Second from
Yeah.
the far end.
Everybody
Yeah, that's
looking?
right. Yeah, I'm
Watching?
looking.
Okay.
Got it.
Right. We should have you fire the next one.
Yeah.
Steve, what number is this?
024.
Thank you.
Sounds good to me.
And so what happened there is that bottle alongside the ROV is open, and now it's closed. And so the water that was
All right, can we get a
inside
jump zoom?
from this location was captured, and it's not going to be
Too
able to
far.
get
Did
out.
you say
It's
jump
gonna
Just,
stay there.
yeah, just the little, the famous Al jump zoom.
Junk. Junk zoom. Is it jump
Junk
zoom?
or jump?
it's junk?
J-U-M-P?
Oh, yeah.
J-U-N-K, to get the junk out of the way. All the junk on the front porch.
Oh.
Oh, junk zoom.
Oh.
Got it.
That's the jump zoom is when I go all the way in quickly.
Oh. Those words are too similar.
Nobody heard Bob, I don't think, laughing.
Hey, Jen and Steve, can either of
Yeah.
you see my chat in the science
I just
chat?
saw it. Janet,
Okay, so I totally lost the list of who is in science chat.
huh. I had trouble getting
Maybe I'll
inside
go-
chat for a little while, but I can see it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 10 people, 10 lines in science chat.
Okay,
right
I'm
now.
gonna try and log out again and come back in.
Okay. All right. So,
But I have V-Link up, SPL up.
okay,
is up.
so you can hear us. Okay.
How was the
Great.
how was the speed test?
For Jennifer, it was very good. 924.9.
Oh,
All right, Al, let's zoom in on
Says
this.
blazing fast. So here we see in the foreground a sea cucumber and a feather star, and in the background, a large cloud-like sponge, a Forrea sponge,
All right, let's come wide.
and a coral behind that, Steve, a single stalked coral there, right?
So Jen, if you take a peek at HIPAC, we're just approaching that kind of yellow area that we had originally targeted. And if we mentally move the contour lines over it, it looks like we're starting to see that slope off our starboard side, which is also what we're seeing in the sonar. So do you want to head up that slope to the top of that little knoll, or do you want to continue heading kind of northeast to A6 waypoint? Row.
A6 would be back downslope, is that true?
A6 would be downslope. Yep. So if they're,
So, I'm sorry, I think I cut out in the
Yeah,
middle
we
of what
couldn't
I
I
think
hear
so.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, yeah, I'm agreeing with what Ben's saying. We weren't seeing much of this larger rock deeper than this. So I think we should continue upslope and just skip A6.
Roger. Skip A6 upslope. Head towards A7 then, correct?
Yes. Okay.
Great.
Doing my yoga breathing right now.